Is this one of the best romance books that I have ever read? I beg your pardon? I'm doing it. I'm doing the damn thing. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you've clicked on this, you obviously know what we're already doing. We are reading romance? I was gonna say romantasy, we are not doing that. We are reading romance books this week, guys. The goal is to read 7 romance books within a 7-day period. Might finish it sooner, might take me a bit longer, we don't know, but the goal is I have 7 romance books I want to read. I've actually had some comments asking me to read more romance books, so we're doing it. I did a reading only like fantasy books for a week, but that's cheating a little bit because all I read is fantasy, let's be real. But there are some romance books, you know, I've been throwing in my contemporary romances as palette cleansers with my fantasy books. So, you know, I've started branching out a little bit, but I have picked up some romance books. So shall we go through the lineup of what I'm gonna read? I think we should. Now, the thought process here was, who do I see people talk about the most? What are the most popular romance books that I've heard of? What do the other book girlies recommend and love? There are a few authors to me that stand out when it comes to like the contemporary romance genre, and I also wanted a variety of romance books. So when I think who are popular authors that everyone talks about when it comes to romance, we obviously have Ali Hazelwood. So I picked up The Love Hypothesis because this I think is like her most popular, talked about, biggest book. It's also the one that everyone on Goodreads that I follow has like rated the highest. But I have already read Bride and Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This is the standard which people hold her books to and sort of say, you know, the other ones that I've read that I enjoyed aren't as good as, so I'm excited and intrigued to read this one. I love the element of STEM in all of Ali Hazelwood's stories. It just makes it so different. I love a romance with a plot. So we have Ali Hazelwood, and who else does romance that is ridiculously popular and everyone is obsessed with? We have Emily Henry. I already own Beach Read by Emily Henry, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna read it. I have only read Happy Place, and that absolutely brutally tore out my heart. Was not expecting that to be such an emotional read, but we have Beach Read now. And then of course we have our cowboy romances. We have Elsie Silver. Now I've already read Flawless and Wild Love, so we've got Heartless, because then that way I'm getting through a series that I've already been reading, and it's a comfortable place to start for me because I am familiar with the writing. Also, everyone says that Cade is like their favorite or the best story in this, and I already met Willa in Wild Love, so I am excited for this one. I'm quite hyped up for that. But we've got cowboy romance, yeah? Then when it comes to more sentimental, emotional romance reads, I have Abby Jimenez. This is her new book just for the summer, and I picked it up. I know it's part of the interconnected standalone series, and everyone says to read the other ones first, though you technically don't have to, so I'm not going to. I'm sorry. A lot of people on BookTok were telling me that I have to read the other ones first, and I'm just not going to listen to anyone. No, sorry. If it involves me having to go and read other books to read this, I'm just not going to read it. I'll read this one first, and then if I want to go back, I'll go back. I don't really care if I don't understand certain references or get the hype with certain characters popping up from other books. But I had to get an Abby Jimenez book, and I like the cover of this one the best. I'm a simple gal. Then I wanted a YA romance, and I think this is one of Haley's favorites. I've seen her talk about Lynn Painter all the time, so we got Better Than the Movies. So we have a little YA romance to throw in there to change it up, but I've not read any of Lynn Painter's books. And then the last two, I've had this one on my shelf for like a year and I've never read it. It was one of the first books I actually bought last year, and it is Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I'm pretty sure are a duo. I feel like it's like an OG romance book. Like all the book girlies are obsessed with this one. Whenever I go and buy bookish merch, there's always stuff for this book, and it's so cute, but I don't get the references. So I'm thinking maybe we should tackle this because it's been on my shelf for long enough. And then finally, oh, I had so many options for this, guys. I could potentially change my mind. Bear with me with this, right? This one isn't a typical romance, and I know it. I know it's more drama and toxic. So like I'm not going in expecting a beautiful love story. I'm expecting toxicity and drama, but it is still categorized as like an emotional contemporary romance read. So I think it counts for this video. And I picked up the first book when I was in London last because the cover is so pretty. We're reading Magnolia Parks. I'm doing it. I'm doing the damn thing. I've been terrified to read this. I know it's like Sarah and Rachel Catherine's one of their favorite books, and I'm very nervous. I'm so nervous. I have no idea what to expect with this. Though I know most people end up crying. This feels huge, honestly. Oh my god, I'm sweating. But anyways, with all of those, I feel like I have a good mix of different types of romance books and love stories, all from popular romance authors. So it's sort of giving me a taste and a sneak peek into different types of books in this genre and seeing if there's maybe a new author that I'm going to fall in love with. And this is the official lineup. So I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pick a book and start reading it. Why am I so nervous? Unintentionally matching the book, even though this is my Powerless jumper. It's the only blue thing that I own, but I really felt like wearing it. And I actually have a blue scrunchie in my hair as well. I did not plan. Cute though. I do love how big these are printed. I'm already loving how this is starting. This is so good. And I think Cooper's comfortable sitting here. I'm only like 50 pages in and I cannot stop laughing. I forgot how good the banter in these books are and like the grumpy sunshine sort of dynamic. I love a fiery main female character, but having grumpy Cade is just so good. Oh, I'm having so much fun. I beg your pardon. Whew. This book, I read it. I finished it last night. I read it in a single sitting. Romance is easier to binge than fantasy, but I think this was a good start. This is a good place to start. For me, this is 4.25 stars because I preferred it to Brett and Summer's story. Like, I think Cade and Willa are more interesting characters. Luke is so cute. I don't really care for children in books. What a sweet, adorable side character. I loved both of the main characters. I just felt like the first 60% of the book was really dragged out, and then the second half felt rushed. And then like some of the micro tropes in it, not my favorite, but I understand why they were in this, like they served a purpose. So far, this is my favorite one in the Chestnut Spring series because I've only read book 1 and book 2. Do I want to keep reading on? Yes, but I can't because we have other books to pick. And I don't know what I feel like. We're just gonna pick one randomly, shall we? We're gonna go with the love hypothesis. It says there's a new bonus chapter in it. Under 400 pages, so again, I should be able to just sit and read this in one sitting. So let's start book 2. I really do not feel well today. Cooper and I are sat back on the couch, which means it's time to read The Love Hypothesis. I'm honestly just gonna sit here and try and read the whole thing in one because that's what I want to do. I don't know anything about this book going in blind other than the fact that it's... Have you got thoughts to share, Cooper? Are you gonna speak? And yes, my dog's name is Cooper and she is a girl. Just gonna clarify that. I like boys' names for girls, but we thought we were gonna get a boy, didn't we? I don't know anything other than this is about, what, third year PhD candidate Olive, because Ali Hazelwood always has women in STEM in her books. So I'm quite excited to finally see what all the hype is. That's enough yapping, let's just read. Absolutely not gonna pretend the fact that I've just been sat here for the last 20 minutes and I didn't start the book and I've just been scrolling on TikTok and Instagram. That's not good. You can take the girl away from her fantasy books, but you cannot take the fantasy books away from the girl. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I was looking at fantasy memes. I've just been sending Monica, as in like Sam and Monica, multiple memes and videos of ACOTAR because she is finally caught up with ACOTAR. She's just got Silver Flames to go. She's been going through them very quickly. Monica's been one of my best friends for probably like the longest time ever, like 10 years. And I actually introduced her and Sam together. That's like my biggest flex in life, that Sam and Monica exist because of me. I take full credit for that. And I mean, I literally can because I did. But anyways, it's literally just me sending video after video for her. Reading about Nesta and Aelin finally finding complex, flawed, misunderstood characters that you can relate to and make you feel seen. Book talk pointing out everything they hate about them, what's wrong with them, and therefore what's wrong with you. That is literally how I feel. Me reading ACOTAR and seeing myself in Feyre. Me reading A Court of Silver Flames and seeing myself in Nesta. All I want to do is go and reread the books now. Like I'm enjoying reading these romance books, but they are just not hitting anywhere near as much as fantasy does for me. I don't know what it is. It's just fantasy books I don't think I'll ever love a genre more than fantasy. I still have so many other genres to venture into. Like I've never read a thriller. What other genres do people read? I've read like 1 or 2 contemporary fictions, but like other than that, I've not really read much else. It's practically fantasy and romantasy, and there's just, I don't know, something that hits harder. They're always more traumatic. Literally speak of the devil, she's just posted one of them on her Instagram. My book talk has like the best book memes and reactions. God, I love it. It just doesn't hit the same like an enemies to lovers in a romance book. Your enemies in a workplace, like, it just doesn't hit the same as literally wanting to murder each other. It just doesn't hit the same.
In the same moment, Hyder pulls a machete from somewhere inside the bloody chainmail he's wearing under his coat and tosses it to Warner, who drops the machine gun and catches the blade by the hilt without even looking.
A fucking machete. That's like one of my favorite quotes from Shatter Me. I actually have to get some reading done, otherwise I'm not going to finish this book today. Seven pages in and I am smiling. I just love banter. Did you just kiss me? Nope. Oh, I love this already. This is so fun. Oh, I'm gonna get comfortable. We're locked in now. So the main female character is described as being like 5'8" and I am 5'9". So I'm loving this because they keep talking about how tall this guy is. I'm like, I love a tall man, like a really tall man as a tall girl. This height though sounds great, sounds ideal. I guess that's why it's fiction. The main male character is like so funny. I love that. No bullshit, blunt, his sense of humor. I love this. Like, spectacular. Give me 14 of them, seriously. I'm at this part in the book where one of the like side characters has an obsession with sun cream apparently, and she's talking about melanoma. And obviously because this is like STEM stuff, they're now looking up research papers and stuff to do with a link between freckles and skin cancer. And I'm actually understanding what they're talking about. My mom had melanoma and I've had to have a mole cut out of my skin. That's why I have like the huge floral tattoo on my shoulder. I had to get a mole that they thought could be cancerous removed from my skin. My stitches were taken out early and it never healed properly, so I have this massive ugly scar from that on my shoulder, and I got the tattoos to like cover it up. Anyway, side note, I also have an obsession with sunscreen and know a lot about melanoma, and just thought that was interesting. I thought I'd share that. I do love Adam. Though our main female character, I don't know if I'm gonna get on with her. She just seems very self-deprecating and not in like a funny, humorous way. Why me? Why would anyone like me? Like, I'm so horrible and poor and weird. Not in a self-aware way, just in like an annoying way. So that's the only like thing I'm having issues with this book right now, is I just feel like that's gonna get worse. But such a fun little cute romance story so far. We're like a third of the way through, so gonna keep reading. I do have to say though that I wish that these books were dual point of view, but this would be so much better if we got dual point of view. I don't know, it just, dual pov in a romance works so well, like the Chestnut Spring series for example. Like I just prefer it, like I want to know. Also, Adam was like perfect to me until he said he didn't like chocolate. Like what kind of psychopath doesn't like chocolate? Clearly this one. I'm on chapter 19 and I have to say I'm been annoyed at this book for the last few chapters because things are happening, but I hate this whole like, oh, they can't possibly like me, so I'm just gonna make these decisions, and then no one just communicates and says how they feel. Maybe it's because I'm such a blunt person and straight up person. Like I could not imagine. Both characters in this right now are pissing me off. Like someone just say something. But also absolutely felt disgusted when that one scene happened with that one person. You know what I'm talking about. The chemistry there with the characters, I love the scenes of them together. I love the two of them just hanging out. It got me. It kind of hit, you know. I think I'm gonna say 4 stars. I do think I preferred Not in Love, or like they were similar for me. It redeemed itself at the end from the last time I was talking, saying like not a fan of what was happening. It immediately, like as soon as I kept reading, resolved and redeemed itself. I think I've rated all her books 4 stars. Bride was 4 stars. Love Hypothesis was 4 stars. Not in Love was 4 stars. If you have a favourite Ali Hazelwood book, please let me know in the comments what it is, because I do think she is an author though that I will just like read every book that she puts out, because I love the way she writes. I love the way she writes her characters, her descriptions, banter and chemistry between the characters. Like I feel it. I'm giggling. At the current moment in time, she is probably my favourite contemporary romance author. I just have so much fun with her books. Guys, I'm so itching for a fantasy. I'm addicted, I'm obsessed, I'm sick, I need help. I can't stop thinking about a fantasy book. Like I just want to go and read a fantasy right now. I can't even lie. Like I'm enjoying this so much while I'm in the moment, but in the back of my head I'm like, dragons. Really wish the character could pick up a sword right now, but can't do that because they're a scientist. So far on track to smash this out within the 7 days. Hopefully sooner, because I'm planning on reading 2 books tomorrow and then maybe 2 books on Sunday. What's the math on that? 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then I've done 2 already. Wait. 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Maths. Anyways, we'll reconvene tomorrow morning. I am 262 pages in, so getting close. This is 400 and something. I've not spoken about this book or said anything because it's kind of like emotionally destroying me. I don't want to cry, but I feel like it could make me cry. I also want to know what happened. This has like a then and now timeline. The story is basically about 2 main characters who met when they were children and were best friends and ended up falling in love when they were like young teenagers, and then something happened and they haven't spoken in 11 years and have lived completely separate lives, and she runs into him one day and they reconnect, and you go back to the then and now timeline of when they first met and their relationship and friendship, and going from children to teenagers to the now present day where they're in their late 20s and main female character's engaged to someone else and just navigating life and grief and loss and happiness. It's written so beautifully. So beautifully. There is something missing and I need to know what happened. I need to know. Oh, my heart really hurts. Because like I'm a little bit in love with Elliot. He can't be that perfect. Like what happened between them? I need to sit and finish reading this because I just need to know what happens. Oh my god, no. I think things are starting to click. I think I'm about to find out why she doesn't try. I don't know what it is, but I don't think I'm ready for it. Oh, I feel sick. that it was going to end that way. Of course, you can't say favorite word and not say that in a romance book. Like, come on. I was waiting for that. I can't believe this book made me cry. I was gonna read Magnolia Parks after, but I don't think I can, just in case that is also emotionally like destructive. Why are some romance books so emotional? For me, it's 4 stars, I think. Why do we have to wait 11 years? Like, I know waiting 11 years is like, makes the stakes even higher, makes it more intense, more emotional, but 11 years, come on. The reasoning and the answers that we got are huge, and you know, it makes sense, but also like, it's almost too unrealistic. As a girl who reads books about dragons and fairies, still a bit too unrealistic for me. But I'm so glad I read it. It was beautiful. The writing was beautiful. The story was beautiful. Just infuriated me how they just couldn't communicate. But that's just me being nitpicky. This story is beautiful. You need a box of tissues to read it though. Oh my god, that ending actually fucking tore out my heart. Oh, thinking about it is gonna make me start crying again. If you're reading books like this every week, you're a masochist, I'm sorry. I can't do that. I cannot. Far out. Like, my fantasy books make me emotional, and I have such like an insane intense reaction to so many of them, especially the big series, and they tear out my heart and stuff, but still, like, this feels too real. Like, that for me is escapism. That is so far-fetched make-believe. This feels too real. Like, my emotions reading this feel too real. Cannot do that. Cannot be doing that. We've got 4 books to go. Grumpy Sunshine and Boy Next Door. Better Than the Movies. It's book number 4? I took a little pause to get some food, but I am back and picked this book up, and I have to say, I love Where's and Bliss. Like, why am I giggling over 2 fictional teenagers? The dynamic already, and the banter is bantering. Obsessed. Like, so obsessed. Oh, this is a fun one. I love it already. Oh, maybe romance is fun. I am having way too much fun with this book that I don't want it to end. Like, I am dragging my feet reading it and rereading pages because it's just so good. Like, as a 25-year-old, I don't really care to read about kids in high school. Like, I'm past that point of my life. Anytime I think of high school, I think of how much I hated it. So I don't really care to like relive it through books, but this is just like, it's just giving rom-com movie vibes. Like, it's just giving wholesome and sweet, and there's emotional depth to these characters. It's giving me a 5-star feeling, but I don't want to jinx it. Which is so silly, because like, how could like a little YA rom-com be a 5-star for me? But that's how it's feeling, so I don't know. Right now, it's my favorite romance book that I've ever read. I think that's what the books that I love the most are. Pure escapism, and this is it. This is doing it. I want a movie version of this book. Oh my god, this damn book. I love this book. 5 stars. Did not think that this would be the book that I would be giving 5 stars to in this video. This was so good. My one gripe with rom-coms and contemporary romance books though is like, all the romance happens at the end of the book. They always get together right at the end. I don't like that, because in fantasy books, there's usually more than one book, so you get to enjoy the romance more. They'll either get together in the second half of the book, and you have, you know, a quarter of the book of them as a couple together. If it's a fantasy series, you get multiple books of them together. I'm not enjoying the pain of like finishing the book once things start to get like good and they get together. Like, I want more. I also posted a picture on my book Instagram account of just like my books stacked. And I got messages from people being like, please tell me that you've read the first 2 books in this series. So I'm just like avoiding everyone right now because I'm not listening to anyone. 5 stars for Better Than the Movies. I loved Lynn Painter's writing. That was a good one. Hi. She's so needy. Good morning everyone, it is the next day now. I am like a third of the way through Beach Read. I'm actually really enjoying it. A Happy Place is the only other Emily Henry book I've read, so that's all I really have to compare it to. I think I prefer Happy Place like so far, but I'm really enjoying this. It's a very interesting story and dynamic. It's not what I thought, and I really love how there's so much plot in this book. Like, it's not just a rom-com, like there is an actual plot that's happening with different characters and interesting things. Cooper wants me to play with her toy. I've been saying this entire video that I'm just gonna read just for the summer and I'm not gonna go and read any of Abby Jimenez's other books first, and I think that I have been peer pressured. You guys have bullied me into it, and I think I'm just gonna buy the first book on Kindle and read that on Kindle. Just for the summer will be shelved, and I'll probably pick it up in another video once I have read, what is it, Part of Your World and Yours Truly? Yeah, I've been thinking long and hard about it, so I think I am going to listen to you guys because at the end of the day, you know best. Who am I to say I'm just going to skip the first two in an interconnected standalone series? If you have left comments and sent me messages telling me not to read this yet, I hear you, okay? I'm listening to you guys. We're going to read Beach Read and we're going to just sit and finish this. I have plans tonight. I'm going over to my parents later on this evening. I'll probably read in bed when I get home, maybe, but I don't have like a full day of reading today. Shocker. Me having some sort of social life? Anyways, I think I'll be able to finish Beach Read and then start another book, but maybe then finish that later on tonight in bed. I don't know. I think maybe 2 books today max. I don't think we'll get a third one done, though I would love to have started Magnolia Parks. I think I'm going to save that one for last. Let's continue reading. Shut up. Why do you think January? Are you kidding me? My favorite microtrope just happened in this book. Why do you think January? I think I know the answer to that. I need to put this on my Goodreads. Did I love Beach Read? Yes. I think they're like 4.5 stars. I don't know, there's something that I'm not like 5 stars. When I read Happy Place, I was sobbing my eyes and I was like, yeah, 5 stars. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I had such big emotions when I read Happy Place that it was a 5-star for me, but I preferred the storyline of this book better. Does that make sense? I don't know. Oh, I'm so confused. I have way too many feelings happening at once right now and it's a bit overwhelming. I didn't cry at this, I almost did though. The ending, the dedication at the ending. I've never met someone who is so perfectly my favorite person. I understand the Emily Henry hype, I get it, I get it. Oh my god, please tell me what books of hers to read next because I'm gonna have to go and read all of them now. So beautiful. I want to reread them and like tab and annotate. Oh, but honestly, like reading this many emotional romance books is actually doing something. It's changing my brain chemistry. I'm gonna need a margarita and a month-long vacation after filming this video. But that is Beach Read done. We only have 2 more books left. That's 5 books we've read. Oh guys, marathon, not a sprint, because this has been a very emotionally heavy reading week for me. I always get people asking me how I can read so many books in a month, and I honestly think if my like go-to genre was this, I would not read anywhere near as much as I do, just because it is intense in the best way possible. Like, I think my brain would short circuit. If I read 37 of these types of books a month, I would need therapy, like really intense therapy. This, just because I think it's because it's real, feels like it's real people compared to made up worlds with fairies with wings and dragons and stuff. Like, this feels like actual humans, like people that I could see on the street, like my own neighbors type of thing. It just gets under your skin a bit more. So beautiful. But I have just downloaded Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, so we're gonna start that and read that on the Kindle. Wow. I didn't even vlog me like reading or reacting to this because I just sat and read the whole thing in one sitting. Is this one of the best romance books that I have ever read? Yes. This was 5 stars. I am so glad that you guys told me to read Part of Your World first, and I'm so sorry for saying that I wasn't gonna listen to you. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about. You guys know more than me. This was amazing. What I was complaining about earlier with all the books I was reading, like the couples get together at the end, or like the whole time you're like, are they gonna get together, are they not? And then it happens and then the book ends. It's not really like that in Emily Henry books. Well, the two I've read so far, there's been like history, characters already know each other, things happen earlier on. This, straight from the jump, baby. This was so good, but also Daniel, the main male character in this, is the dream man, honestly. Like, who wouldn't want someone that's absolutely obsessed with you right from the jump? So thoughtful and considerate and kind and caring and loving and absolutely everything. Everyone on Goodreads is telling me, like, just wait until you meet her other main male characters because they're just as good. And now I want to go and read every Abby Jimenez book. So I think I need to physically buy this book. I need it. I need a physical copy of it. I also need to buy Yours Truly, and so then I can read Just for the Summer. I need every Abby Jimenez book now. Could she potentially be my favourite romance author? That was unexpected. Oh, it was just so beautiful. I highlighted quite a lot of quotes and things in here. I loved the story. I loved the plot. I loved the characters. I loved the side characters. I actually stayed up until 3 a.m. to read this. Yeah, I could not physically put the book down. I didn't want to. It was perfect. This is what I want from a romance book. It's the next morning and I still haven't stopped thinking about it. I definitely think that this is probably my favourite book that I've read in this video so far. Who'd have thought? I didn't. This wasn't even on the original lineup. Goodness me, I really enjoyed that. My jumper today, I actually placed some more bookish merch orders from a couple of places and they've started arriving. So thankfully, you're not gonna have to see me wearing my Bat Boys t-shirt all the time, and I am changing it up. By the way, I have 2 of the same Bat Boys t-shirts that I wear in all my videos because there was a printing error on one of them, so they resent me the correct one. So I have 2 of them, which is why I wear them all the time because I sleep in them. But anyways, we're starting the last book today and it matches my jumper perfectly. Like, are you kidding me? So it's time to start Magnolia Parks, and this is the last book in this video. And I'm finally excited to see what all the hype is about and get stuck in. I have prepared myself watching everyone else's reading vlogs of this series. Let's start the last book. I'm 40% of the way through this book, guys. I physically feel sick. I feel so sick reading it. It's nauseating. I don't know about you guys, but my sister, I'm pretty sure, feels the same way. But there are certain fiction books that will make me feel so unwell after reading them, or like while I'm reading them. Like, I'm so invested and connected, but I don't know what it is. I have like this visceral emotional reaction to the book, and as soon as I'm finished the book, I can't touch it. I can't pick it up again for ages. Like, the same thing happened with Hunger Games. Hunger Games was one of my favorite books growing up, and I remember reading the books and absolutely loving them, but like I couldn't touch them again. Like, the thought of the Hunger Games made me feel nauseous. When I went and saw the movies after them, I was in like a depression for no reason, not because I was like sad that it finished or anything, but just feelings I got around it were so big. I don't know how to explain it. I wonder if there's a name for it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to reread this. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm gonna need time between picking up this book and thinking about it again, because the entire time I'm reading it, I'm like, I'm gonna be sick. Like, I feel like this is happening to me. I'm feeling heartbroken and sad and all the emotions that the characters should be feeling. I'm also really struggling to be Team BJ. Like, I just don't want to. I don't want to ship the main guy. It's like, how fucked up do you have to be doing the things that he's doing in this book while he feels the way that he does? Like, are you kidding me? Sorry, I actually feel unwell. I know the next book is going to be, or the book after this is focusing on Daisy Hates, but does it not have chapters for Daisy, Julian, and Christian? And it happens in the same timeline as this book. So I'm interested to see, because, well, we've seen Daisy like twice in this. So I'm interested to see what's actually going on the other side of things from other people's perspective. But, oh man. I should not be reading this the week before I'm due to get my period because it's just too emotional. The found family, I love the whole group of characters. It does feel like I'm watching the behind the scenes, the reality of like Made in Chelsea or something like that, but it's actually heartbreaking, soul crushing. I am kind of living for like the toxicity and the drama. Like, it is entertaining, but reading this feels like I'm watching a car crash happen and I cannot turn away, even though it is absolutely brutal and will haunt my nightmares. That is currently how I feel about this book. I have to finish it today because I don't want to read it for any longer than that, because I don't think my emotions can handle that. Oh, I'm so not ready. Today is just gonna be a tough day for me. I do think it is beautifully written. I think it is a really good book. It's getting me. We've got like 70 pages to go, guys. The first half was making me feel sick, nauseating, stressful. The second half, full of the drama. I've definitely enjoyed the second half more than the first half. Now that I'm like sort of through the adjustment period, I don't want to stop reading it. I don't. I just want to read the rest of the books now. I'm also so intrigued to read Daisy Hate's books now after like what the hell is happening, but also I get it. I get the hype. This entire video is just like 40 minutes of me finally understanding why hyped books are hyped. There is merit to everyone's love for them. Also, I bought this at Daunt Books when I was in London. In the front of it, I just found a bookmark from Daunt Books in the front of it, so I'm just gonna keep reading. It's also been so fun to go back and forth between it on my book and then my Kindle. Like, I struggle to read physical books while I'm eating food or like my dinner, and I wanted to keep reading this, but I could do it on my Kindle. Kindle's just so great. But the book series is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm gonna find out what happens now. Things have been going too well though. Like, when things start to get good, it gets really, really bad. And we had like a big period of really, really bad stuff happening. The last few chapters have just been pretty good. So I'm anxious for what's about to come. Another one? How many fucking loves do you get in a lifetime, man? Magnolia gets them all. How many people in your lifetime do you get to love how I love her? How many loves do you get? Tell me it's 2. Am I finishing this book or is it finishing me? I did not see that coming. Holy shit. Oh, I feel fucking sick. I need to think about the rating for this because the ending. I should have seen it, but I didn't. Oh, I'm gonna be sick. So that is book 7 read. I've slept on my rating and I still don't know. I think I'm going for something around 4 stars because it doesn't deserve any less. Did I go and immediately buy all the other books in the series? So maybe there will be a full Magnolia Parks reading vlog of all the books. This is definitely one that I'm gonna have to just like immediately binge back to back as many of the books as I can, because if I pause to take a break from reading this, I don't know if I'll ever pick it up again, simply because of how emotional it is. I wouldn't say it's a love story, I would say it's just a very tragic story. It does feel like Made in Chelsea meets Gossip Girl. It feels like you're reading into the personal lives and behind the scenes of people that you know of. The whole cheating thing made me feel so sick, so unwell, because of like the feelings of heartbreak and hurt and betrayal of trust. It was really, really heartbreaking. Am I rooting for the cheaters to get together? No. Maybe. No. It's literally just toxic, just people who love each other so much more than they love themselves that they can't let go and just keep hurting each other. That's what I would say it is. There is so much love in these books, but also from like the found family, like the whole group of characters with friendship and other relationships and feelings, and it's honestly just really tragic. It made me feel so many emotions. As you saw, very much a roller coaster. There's no happily ever after. It's real. It's about love and friendship and a betrayal of trust and heartbreak and grief and life-altering things. But I did immediately download last night Daisy Hates, and I have started it, and I have to say, I don't know, I think I'm loving that one more. Maybe because it's so far not as dysfunctional and traumatic, and I like the other characters, but yeah, I think this book is about to consume my life. But I literally said in this video, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick this book up and reread it, and I already want to go and reread it and pick up on all the little bits and hints that I missed, or literally right in front of your face, for what was gonna happen and like the ending. Like I should have seen that coming a mile away, and I didn't. Did I enjoy this book? Yes and no. Do I like the characters? No, I hate them. But at the same time, I also love them. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I hate everybody, but I love everybody, but I hate them. No description of this book can do it justice, I don't think. Probably not what you think it's going to be, but I'm so glad I read it in this vlog. So thank you guys for making me read romance books for the week. We read 7 books in 6 days, and I found my new favorite books and authors. I definitely think Abby Jimenez is now like my top romance author. I think the Magnolia Parks universe is going to consume my life for the next couple weeks, and is definitely the books that shocked me the most. Pleasantly surprised. I've had so many like 3-star reads lately, so it was nice to enter a new genre and read sort of like the best of the best, because it made for some really good entertainment. But every single book I read was so different from one another, so I feel like I got a good mix, a good variation. But if you want to see me read more romance books or do another one of these, comment book suggestions below, or let me know what other genre and books from those genres I should read. And this video is way too long already as it is, so we're gonna end it here. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye. Love you.